The soup hit me before the words did. Boiling, stinging, sharp as betrayal itself. Her smile came next, thin, triumphant. A smile people reserve for victories they didn't earn. That's what you deserve. My son didn't flinch, didn't stand. He just looked at me the way strangers look at crowds, detached, unbothered. She's right, Mom. And that was the wound that burned more than the soup. I didn't argue, didn't defend myself. I simply dabbed the dripping heat from my face, stood up, and walked out of the restaurant. But before I pushed the door open, I made one call. A quiet call. A call I had rehearsed for months. A call I never wanted to use. But betrayal has its own timing. They thought that was the end of it. It wasn't. It was the beginning. I met my daughter-in-law's family years ago. Back then, her mother greeted me with exaggerated warmth, long hugs, loud compliments, all sugar, no sincerity. But I pretended for my son's sake. My son, he used to hold my arm when walking, used to call every night, used to trust me. Then marriage happened, or rather, interference disguised as family. It started suddenly. A cold shoulder here, a missed call there, plans canceled, excuses ready, eyes avoiding mine. Then one day, he snapped at me for something I never said. Word for word, it echoed the tone of his mother-in-law. That was the day I knew. Someone else had taken my place. Slowly, intentionally. When people betray you, they expect tears. When your own child turns against you, they expect collapse. They didn't get either. I stayed silent. But silence is not surrender. Silence is storage of information, of patterns, of motives. I began studying them. The mother-in-law's obsession with control, my daughter-in-law's fragile ego, my son's desperate need for approval. Their finances, their businesses, their weaknesses, every crack they hid under painted smiles. I documented everything, and I never confronted. The quiet person is always underestimated, and underestimated is the perfect position to strike from. One night, my son accidentally sent me a voice note meant for her. His voice, cold, annoyed, dismissive. She needs to stop thinking she's important. You're more of a mother to me than she ever was. You're more of a mother to me, said to the woman who spent years erasing me. My heart broke quietly, but my mind sharpened. He had chosen his replacement, fine, but he had also tied himself to her legally, financially, recklessly. And that was my opening. They trusted me less with time. I trusted them less with hesitation. I contacted an old friend, an auditor with a mind like a scalpel. I told him 4 words. Check everything about them. He did. And what he found wasn't just dirt. It was an earthquake I could place beneath their feet. Misreported income, hidden transactions, fake invoices, a business registered under my son's name, but entirely controlled by his mother-in-law. If authorities ever examined it, their empire would fold in a day. And guess what? The authorities were only one phone call away. The soup burned, yes, but it didn't blind me. It awakened me. Her smug face, my son's silence, their confidence, intoxicating. That's why I made the call right there, to my auditor friend. It's time, I said. By the time I reached home, it had already begun. The next morning, I heard the chaos through my son's frantic calls. First came the tax officers, then the anti-corruption department, then the bank's fraud division. Their house was searched, her business meetings were questioned, accounts were frozen, her reputation shattered under the weight of her own lies. My son called again and again, voice trembling for the first time. "Mom, please, something's happening. I think they're coming for us." Us? How quickly he remembered the word when he needed saving. I let the phone ring. Then I called him back, calm as ever. "You replaced me," I said. "So ask the one who took my place to save you." Silence. A long, shaking silence. I ended the call. 2 days later, he came to my door. Eyes red, clothes creased, fear swallowing him whole. "Mom, please, I didn't know. I didn't mean any of it." But her mother-in-law, she stood behind him, like a crumbling statue. No makeup, no pride, no power left. "You did this," she hissed at me. "No," I said softly. "You did this to yourselves. I just stopped protecting you from it." Her knees buckled. My son caught her. Poetic. I stepped back inside and closed the door. Not angrily, calmly, like I was closing a chapter. I didn't destroy them. I simply let the truth do what truth always does: expose. They never regained the life they had. They never looked at me the same again. Not with hatred, with fear, with respect. With the realization that the quietest person in the room had been the most dangerous all along. And me, I finally breathed. Sometimes revenge isn't fire. Sometimes it's the moment you stop shielding people from the consequences of their own actions. That's when